Can we thank Punk Me Tender again for what he just co-created with us? Why does everybody take a seat and let me have your undivided attention for a few moments? Yes. I am so thankful to have all of you here. For those that are tuned in all around the world from Tricon Residential, welcome. Welcome to your office. Welcome to an event that's been custom tailored and put together for your company's education and the ability to build relationships with all the incredible tech leaders and others that are here today. I have thought about doing an event like this for about 10 years. And I started doing events with my friend Justice, right there with that beautiful blonde hair. Back in 2017, when I was the entrepreneur in residence at the Innovation Hub inside Twitter's headquarters. And I remember we started doing these future of tech events, future of blockchain events. We did future of voice events for AI. And I really enjoyed the intimacy of a small group of leaders. Because at that time, I would custom select every single person that I wanted in the room. Because I wanted people in the room that I wanted to learn from. You see, none of you paid to be here. I don't think I've ever charged a ticket for an event that I've done. Because for me, nor have I had sponsorships. For me, events are not a business, although I respect those that build event businesses. For me, events have always been market research. A chance for me to be around other leaders, be inspired by them, do more listening than talking. On Wednesday, we had 138 of the leaders from the NFT NYC community that came out to the NASDAQ Center in Times Square. And we're all sitting there, and I'll be honest, it was one of my favorite gatherings I've ever been a part of, right? 138 global leaders flying in. It's only us, like the key speakers for that industry. But what I found a little discouraging, even though I'm part of the NFT NYC and I co-produced the event with Jody and his team, is that you have 138 global leaders and about 10 of them talked. It's about 125 people that are used to traveling around the world and speaking on stages and writing blogs that people read and creating videos that people watch. They just sat there. They sat there and they watched their peers tell them things they already knew. And although I loved it, it was a stark reminder of what I didn't want today to be. What I desire for all of you is to be amongst your peers for an entire day. We've created a couple different expressions. Now, I was going to have to accelerate and rush through this, but your art creation was done so quickly that it gave me a bit more breathing room. There are two different expressions that you can participate in. There will be certain things that happen right here, like for the next hour, we're going to do introductions. And so we're going to ask each of you to very simply introduce yourself with a focus on who you are as a person. At the end of the day, at 5 o'clock, we'll have something similar for conclusions, where we'll ask you to be a bit more call to action oriented, right? Like, based on everything I experienced today, this is what I think I can bring to the table. This is what I kind of need from this community. But that's not the introduction part. The introduction's like, I'm Ian Utilli. I live in a treehouse in the forest by the ocean with my 2 boys, and my purpose is to create technology that impacts billions of lives. And I'm here to learn from all of you. Like, that's an introduction, right? We want to keep it short because the minute we allocated for each person is not going to be quite enough. So if you could try to have an accelerated introduction, that's a sign of respect for everybody else in the room. This stage is from 11 to 12. Again, we'll be here from 3 to 4 and from 5 to 6. And that is kind of a public forum. We have 4 different 4K cameras capturing this. Today is really something I've put together for Tricon and for you. In doing that, one of the gifts that I wanted to give all of you is all of the content that we capture will be delivered to you today. So all of the 10-hour live stream that we are broadcasting privately to Tricon's team will be cut up into pieces and will be delivered to you the same day. And how many times have we been in an event and they say, yeah, we'll get you that in a week, and then like a month later, yeah, we're still working on it, And then next year's event happens and they kind of forgot to get you the talk that you did or the panel you were a part of. And so we went to an extent to ensure that we had the human capital and the technical ability to not only capture this day, stream it for all of you, but to deliver something of value to you. There's no agreement or contract, but what I will say is anything that you say that's captured, you have commercial rights to use it. And, and then if you have other people's stuff that you see, maybe non-commercial rights, right? But we want you to freely leverage this. We want you to be able to use something that you say in a roundtable conversation because we've been very thoughtful, right? The name badge is a reflection of what's on the actual video with your name and your title and your company. So for the moments where you chime in during the fires, during one of these roundtables and you say something brilliant, it's brand new IP, never said that before, but man, that was good. I finally nailed it, right? Those moments are captured. Those moments are delivered to you. You can do whatever you want with them as long as it's you that's speaking and you can deliver it to your marketing team. This is one of the tangible gifts that I can give you for being here and being a part of this. I have thought several times about the heaviness of a word like purpose and coming to an event like purpose because it's really easy to be like mask wary and say some sort of brand slogan around what your purpose is. But the reality is our purpose is so much more complex than just a sentence. And it's not about coming into an introduction and being crystal clear with your purpose. It's about coming into an environment where you let your guard down. You're not trying to impress everybody because we're all basically peers from different industries, whether you're from AI or Web3 or you're a Hollywood titan or you're somebody that I asked to come from the nonprofit world. You are somebody I respect. If you're in this room and I invited you, I want to listen to you. I want to learn from you, and I think everybody else will feel the same way. So part of today is to kind of air out purpose, is to kind of like let out, okay, is this where I'm at, and how do other people spark that for me? The reason I'm on the one wheel is I want to talk about something before we get started. And I want to talk about the concern, the one and only concern I have for today, is that we glorify things and that we demonize things. Let's not demonize things. Let's not demonize tech. Let's not demonize companies. Let's not demonize politicians. Let's not demonize organizations. Also, let's not glorify things. Please today, don't pendulum swing on us. Don't lay down some sort of gauntlet that makes it like somebody has to stand up and defend their ideology because you're so heavy-handed around your political affiliation, your worldview, your spiritual affiliation, or whatever little thing that you're just bent on. That's just not the time. In fact, congratulations, you get a break from being tribalistic today. What a rad thing, yeah? Also, because of that, every roundtable except for one will have many co-facilitators. Many of you signed up to co-facilitate. Every roundtable, there'll be two expressions. One is here. This is the public forum. By being in this space, you're more or less allowing yourself to be recorded, at least your video. There's a separate room, the innovation room, that's private. No cell phones, no computers, no recording, no audio, nothing. You can let your guard down. You're a CTO, you're an introvert, you are a well-known person that doesn't really want to be on camera. That's the room for you. You feel free to go back and forth between the private space for talking about the how do we do this and the public space talking about the why we do this. In the midst of these experiences, I want many co-facilitators except for one time, and that's during the government politics time. For the government politics time, I will be the only facilitator to ensure that there's no chance that this train gets off the rails with Biden or Trump attacking or praising or anything of that nature, because that's not the point of AI innovation or Web3 innovation. It's not about the person. It's not about the affiliation. It's not about the Conservative or the Labour Party in UK or any of the expressions that try to divide people that pretty much have most things in common. So besides that, it's a collective dialogue, but for that one, for safety measures, I will be facilitating that. I'm about done, but let me just say a couple things. Dan Thompson is my older brother. I probably shouldn't say too much because I'll cry. But Dan will be in the back in the innovation room, and he will be just helping make sure that my heart and what I want accomplished happens, because he reflects me and our family. I love you. Ted Haas, where is my tall Teddy? There he is. Ted has been with me for 10 years. He's the chief of ethics at my company, attn.live. Google's goal was to do no evil. Our goal is to do what is righteous. And Ted helps us run after that. Ted will be the one that will be emceeing, kind of helping keep things going here in this public forum. I could go through the room and acknowledge most of you and say what you mean to me and why I love you and why I'm glad to spend the day with you. But there's not time for that, and I want to hear you introduce yourself. What I will say is this. It's okay not to say something and to be quiet too. It's okay to listen and not have to fight to be heard in this context. The greatest advantage you have today is to be around people that you can respect, that you can actually open up your mind, heart, and learn from. And part of that is to be tuned in. So we're not allowing any technology in that innovation room, but I would really encourage you not to look at your phones, not to look at your computers in this open forum. There are dozens of spaces throughout this massive headquarters that you can go hide away and check your email and do your texts and make calls. I don't encourage you to do so, but that's what that's for. In this space, give your eye contact to the person that's talking. Just as you want that, so do they. And I believe I'm done. I'm going to have an extraordinary day, and if you choose to, so will you. Let's get started.